Rolling coal on anti-vaxxers. What's that? I don't like that.
Racist
Who
Karen.
did that?
Smelly
What's rolling
curry.
coal on anti-vaxxers? Let me see that. I don't like that. That's upsetting.
I do it in my diesel.
I'm gonna be outraged.
I take my chips off my diesel. How do you roll coal?
What, in the Raptor?
How do you roll coal in a diesel?
How do you roll coal in a diesel?
You take out the
step
diff.
on the gas.
No.
You take out. You just chip it. You're chipping it.
Oh, he's running. If you hit my truck, is he gonna actually? Do it, dude. Do it. Do it.
Wow.
Yes. I'm having a lot of fun.
Oh, man.
That flatbed.
I don't really like. I really dislike the rolling coal thing in general.
I do, too.
I think that's. I think you should be allowed to fucking start a fucking issue with somebody if they do that to you.
It's obnoxious.
Yeah,
That's obnoxious.
It's poisonous too. It's not just
Yeah,
obnoxious.
that's not
it's like
funny.
damages your health.
I hate anybody who has stacks. I'm a diesel truck enthusiast.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? The nicest diesel truck you could have is the stock one.
Mm-hmm.
The brand new Cummins. I'm like Kevin Costner when it comes to diesel trucks. I'm like, you better have a 2020 Cummins, or else you're just some kind of fucking redneck, man. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. You know, you have the 356.7 diesel, and you put the diff in it, you keep it dead stock. That's why you keep your mileage low on that thing too.
I had somebody roll coal on me, and so I cut them off in an extremely dangerous way.
Yeah.
Which is my forte. Is really driving badly.
Oh no.
So he follows me into a gas station, and he gets out, and he said, he said, what's your problem? He was getting all problematic. He was making a problem out of it, and I said something like, you shouldn't drive like a fag or something like that, like very just calmly, and he goes, he starts saying that he had a gay, like he immediately decided that he wanted to like make me feel bad for him instead of like getting in my face. So he said he said he had a gay cousin.
Oh.
And that I should watch my. This is a guy who just rolled coal in like a fucking diesel, like hillbilly truck. And he's like, "Well, I have a gay cousin, so you shouldn't say stuff like that."
What?
And I was like, "Ooh," like I felt. I just had to get out of there because it was
What the fuck
it was
is
so
that?
awkward. It was so weird.
He's just like you.
He came out ready for war, and I stepped out, and I was like, "Dude, you shouldn't drive like a fag."
I have diabetes.
And then it immediately, yeah,
Throw him off his game real quick. I
Anyway.
actually have type 2 diabetes.
yeah.
He's like, what?
I was in a wheelchair until 6 months ago.
I went to the hospital today and they said my insulin level was 118 and it's supposed to be somewhere around 40. And then they called in a specialist and it was Dr. Smith. And then the Smith said that my was off the charts. And then they ran more blood tests and they said that my hemoglobin tests came back in a negative way. So I had to go over to Rhode Island Hospital where they transferred me. And then my insulin level did spike with some sugar saccharin. But I don't take sugar saccharin. I have an allergy to it. So they gave me...
Oh my god.
That's how you maintain dominance.
Yeah. I wish I pulled that out. I wish I had something to say.
Me too. I had a stairwell humor with this kid that I hate. I hate this fucking kid. This he's grown up with me. He knows who I am. Don't pretend like you don't know who I am, dude. Don't play games.
Like same town, small town.
Yeah.
He knew.
Like, you know who I am.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, what's up, Nick? Oh, what's up, man? How are you? Good. Oh, man, you still hanging around with the same crew? Like, zing number one. Yup. Oh, man. I make some joke. You know, he's telling me how
What,
he's
like still stuck in the small town?
Yeah,
type of
yeah,
thing?
still,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. No,
Oh, good.
mind you, he just bought a house up the street. I know his house. His house is worth half as much as mine. Okay, you fucking pig rat. You fucking faggot. Anyway, but he's trying to roll over me. Then he comes in with, oh yeah, he works for GM Cars. He was a car guy, and he made it up. And then he works for internally. He works for the finance end as a head.
Ooh.
And he's got 16 guys working for him. He let me know right away.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, cool, man. And then I made some like joke about like, yeah, you know, and then you just gotta fucking, so I made something about my wife being like a fat bitch or some like joke, like very common guy joke. And he was like, man, you haven't changed a bit.
Wow.
And I was like this, yeah, fuck.
and I was like so pissed, and like I just stopped talking. I was like, I just like looked ahead at my boy, and I like gave him the eyes, like I'm done talking now. And then as I was leaving, I was like, I should have fucking told this kid I had type 2 diabetes, and then gave him like a fucking like logistic story.
The whole rundown.
My boy, I love him to death, but he tells me the most boring stories about logistics. And then I went to the freaking washing machine, and then the part it needed a blow-off valve. So I called Lowe's in Warwick, and they said they had it. So it was like a G2 202 part, okay, and it was a Maytag 404. So I called them, and then they came there, and then I get there, and guess what?
What?
They didn't have it. So they called the Woonsocket store, and I had to drive all the way up to Woonsocket, and then guess what?
What?
I got stuck in traffic. So in traffic, right, I'm like beating my car, and then my freaking tailgate falls down because I had it tied up with a rope, and like sidewalk, and then like I should have hit him with a. So I think ultimate victory is when someone hits you like that, and you don't want to be confrontational. Like I'd love to punch this kid in the face, but honestly, truth be told, he's an MMA fighter. He took like 2 amateur MMA fights. He's like my size. I'd lose. I'd lose the fight, but I'd win the war. You know what I mean? But how would I win without being a peckerhead?
You gotta tell him a story.
Tell him a long 10-minute story about something fake.
Yeah.
It has to be something fake. Like, dude, you're still the same. I'm like, the same, except with type 2 diabetes. And then I went to Dr. Anderson's, and then they told me the levels were supposed to be at 40, and they were actually at 118. So they were like, whoa, these are so high. So they shipped me to Rhode Island Hospital and an ambulance. And then when I got there, they actually took the insulin levels. They added saccharin, and then they ended up adding the validextrose, which I'm prescribed to. And then they ended up doing Salimetrin. And then I stayed there for an hour and a half, and then I ended up meeting with my wife, ended up coming, and then my children, and then I called my father, and they were like, you're going to be fine, but they wanted to keep me overnight for observation. And then my levels were ended up even my salinization was so low that they ended up adding some saline bags, and then my blood pressure ended up shooting up because of the validextrin. So long story short, they ended up coming back, and then I long story short, and then tell a long story. You just keep going and going and going. You don't even let them stop. You fucking keep going. 12 fucking minutes, you win. And then 7 months down the road, someone's gonna be like, "Yo, Paul Nishko heard you're a diabetic."
Oh, then you tell him he's a liar.
I'm not a fucking diabetic.
You gaslight him like that.
Yeah.
I'm
not a diabetic. I'm not a fucking I mean, could I be a pussy and then be like, dude, don't talk to me like that? Sure. Start a fight in front of 4 other grown men, fathers, owners of the restaurant? Sure. Tell a kid you're a diabetic, and then let people fucking be like, yo, Rocher's not a diabetic. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Get the win a year later.
That's a fun one.
The real win.
But make the story so preposterous. The funnier the story, the more like, yeah, same guy, except I own a seal. And he's like, what? I bought a piece of land with a natural lake on it, and I salinized it, and my mother was actually a marine biologist, so we created a seal tank. What? Yeah, dude. Like, I actually have the only saltwater tank that actually harbors natural wildlife in New England.
I have the only privately owned seal in Rhode Island.
So it's like a seal. Yeah, his name is Marty.
It's like my seal.
It's a seal. It's down in Wickford. And like, I actually feed him with like guts from like the fishermen. They all give me like, they hook me up with like bins of guts, and I bring them there at the end of every day. Damn. And they have a seal. And he's like, whoa, so you like have a seal? And then the more you engage your enemy, the more you win.
Yeah. Get him to buy into it. Get him to bite down hard on the story. Okay. Yep. He's taking mouthfuls of the story and he's digesting it.
Yes.
He's having a full 3-course meal. What you want to do is you want to turn him over to your side so that he actually thinks that he's now got some interesting thing, to use conversationally later. Because when I'm talking to you, my ears are going up, my radar's going off. I'm going, oh man, this is interesting. Nick's just told me something interesting. I can use this later. I can tell this to somebody else. They make them think I'm interesting. Yeah. So now you got him doing the same thing.
Now you're giving him a business card with if you're really a fake business. And he's selling it to investors.
Yeah.
And like, honestly, like we actually had a couple of guys that are like super interested in Rhode Island Marine Biology program that are like ready to donate like 50,000. So like we're trying to like start like the biggest naturally owned saltwater tank for endangered wild species in the United States.
The biggest possible win is if you can get him to fundraise for your project.
Oh, that would
That's what we got to work on.
Good.
We should get fake business cards for just such an occasion.
We really should, because honestly, like you're around town, you're gonna get like you don't want to hear everybody's fucking 2 cents. You just start getting them on your fucking like.
I tell fake stories all the time.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
because when people hit me up with some asinine question on Instagram, I'll just immediately agree with what they said, and then follow up with like fleshing out their side of the story a little bit, make it a little realistic and interesting. Like, me and Charles. Well, he actually almost shot me.
It was a gun. We bought a gun. Actually, one of the dudes on set actually had a gun.
We were messing around with it, and he did this gun flip trick, and I tried to do the same thing, and I dropped it. It didn't go off at that point, but when I went to pick it up, I put too much pressure on the trigger, and it shot into the crowd. And so that's why there's no guns in World Peace, is because the prop master was like, they're absolutely, after this point forward, like, we're not going to shut your show down for this, but from this point forward, no guns, no explosions. Guns. We were supposed to have episode 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We were supposed to have a bunch of fake explosions going off. We were supposed to have guns in every shot. We were supposed to have like a bank robbery type scene.
Yeah.
All that got shut down because I didn't have gun discipline, and the prop master was that pissed off that he just decided he refused to work on it if we had any of that stuff.
So, is that why you have the charity that you're handing me the business card of?
Yeah, well, actually, it's interesting you say that because I'm trying to fundraise. There's actually it's an affiliate.
I've been doing pretty well, so I can fundraise.
The charities. Do you have are you in like the $4,000 range?
I am.
Okay.
I mean, it depends on what it is, of course, but it always depends on what. I mean, what are we talking about?
So what we have, it's actually an affiliate marketing type charity because the money, if you can get a certain amount of pledges or people to say that they'll agree to fundraise, you actually get a kickback of
like an incentive based thing.
Yes, exactly. So if you could like pass this information out, like you could screenshot this conversation, like put it on a forum, like tell people this is what's going on.
About gun awareness and stuff.
That would be really helpful. Yeah.
Yo, because like my friend's sister's dead of gun.
Well, this is charity's gonna really help you out then.
So you can really seek some because like honestly, I know a lot of people that died of gun.
Mm-hmm.
Like my aunt died of gun.
How bad was it?
It was like bullet. It was like bang. And then she was like gone.
Was it bad?
Honestly, it went like and then
fuck, that's really funny. That's really good.
Yeah, then she was like, dude, like gone, right? Point. And then what happens next? Yeah. And then it's like so like, you know what I mean? Everybody's like,
that's really funny. That's like a sketch right there.
Yeah, that's funny.